What is up, everyone? I'm going to be playing the new champion Aurora in the jungle. So Aurora, I believe she's actually quite a good jungler. Her abilities are very good for the jungle clear, and she's just a really good AP jungler that once you get the hang of her, she's a very strong champion. We're going to be playing in Diamond ELO, and I'm just going to show you guys how exactly you can make this champion work. So for starters, Aurora jungle is extremely reliant on this passive, right? So hitting 3 spells will proc it similar to a lot of spells. Q is a very simple ability. You just shoot it in a direction, and if you hit something, you can pull it back, which does, a bit of damage and slows. Your W is sort of your escape and visibility, also your dash, and your E is just sort of like a blast of damage that knocks back, which is like your getaway ability. What I think about this champion is I actually think she's just very important to be. She's like an on-hit champion. A lot of your damage is actually through sort of these on-hit abilities. So for you to kind of like be able to play her well, you're going to have to, sort of be able to, utilize the on-hit effects on this champion. As you can see, hitting Q, you can pull it back. E will send that blast out, hits effects. So a lot of time you're just proccing your sort of passive ability. And you're just kind of utilizing that a lot. So that's why I'm going to think, personally for me, Liandry is just a very crucial item on her. Other items that you can go for are Liandry's, and other items you can go for are Nashor's Tooth. Honestly, going even hybrid with like a Rage Blade, Blade the Rune King build is a possibility. I just think this champion is not good enough to go sort of like very... she just doesn't really have that much damage if you try to go Glass Cannon. So definitely play around the possibility of just having that better sort of, on-hit damage. So here are 2 points into Q. If you're clearing, if you think you're going to get invaded, you can go for the W for escape. But realistically, you just have to survive the invade. Your clear, you see, it's not really much complication. You do have some time to pull the Q back, so you always want to make sure it's sort of angled to hit whatever you can. Your Q cooldown is extremely short, so you always want to kind of utilize that. And the spirit system that you see, these spirits around you, they're more about how you sort of play around them. So you can see no flash on this guy. Very good for us. Damn it, I wanted that. Now I'm afraid of getting, like one shot here. Diego wanted to play around, but I'm not here to play around. I'm here to the opposite of play around, not play around. So here I really do need this crab kill, but Galio is on the hunt, on the prowl, if you may say. But overall, we were able to get that snipe off, that one shot off, and big reason why I was able to kind of even last hit their blue there was actually because of the passive here, right? It does around, 100 magic damage, 50, 75. So that's just something you can easily utilize, and very important to just play for your clear when you're playing her. There isn't really that much complication on her. Just be very aware of how much damage your passive will be doing. So these extra procs of your passive are just going to be very important when you play her. So here is our first base. We got a kill. Very happy. You can rush boots, but if you want to clear a bit faster, you can always go into this buy. This meta is generally pretty boots heavy, but it's sort of up to you how you kind of want to itemize. I just want to kind of clear faster, so I'm going to go for the extra AP. I'm going to go for the Faded Ashes, which helps your clear dramatically. So my goal is to kind of go for like a build like Liandry's and then something like a Nashor's, because I think she's extremely on-hit effect heavy. Like, you're going to be autoing a lot. Your AP ratio is not the best. Even her build is like a tank build because it's a lot about, staying in the fight for a long time. So the Roa, or not the Roa, but the Riftmaker can be good later. And that's something we're going to do once we sort of go for a bit more damage. You can kind of see the clear speed is dramatically faster now. You can always pull the Q back to make sure you clear fast. But you're not really going for anything too crazy. Like, remember, our priority is, we're playing AP jungle, right? So you always prioritize the clear first and then everything. So here I do 2 camps. Mid is killable, so we can do something where we do like a quickie. And very nicely done. Also, your W is a reset, by the way. So on hit, reset, jump over walls, small invisibility center. Here, we're going to steal the Viego jungle because, well, Viego just made a big mistake here. I'm going to ward here, and then we're just going to kite towards, the bot side here. And the Q backwards is very simple. She's a very basic champion. What's going to be, where it's going to get more, I would say, tricky or complicated is actually going to be around your R, right? Your R is like very short range, but it does give you a lot of maneuverability that you're going to utilize. This is a bit awkward where I think Viego is actually going to be here. You can kind of jump in and play around. We're just sniping these out here. So as long as your W is back up, you can always kind of do what I'm doing right now, which is do the grubbies, get in with your W, and then kind of get out afterwards. Your clear is very fast, I can see. Just make sure you kind of play with now your E. Now we have our W up, so we're going to just go for 2. And then just get out, right? Like they use... I missed the smite on that, whatever, though. It's not a big deal for us. Galio R is down, so we always want to play around. And that's a big ability that could have been a huge issue for us. You do have to be careful if Viego decides to invade you on red, for example, here. And he's actually top side, so we're okay here. I'm gonna get my R here. I have no desire to go top side. My big awareness here is actually to play around mid. If he Ws or E's forward, it's really good. If he doesn't, then well, we don't really have a play here. Nothing's going on. If the game is slow, then we can easily play it to jungle farm and clear. My goal is to kind of involve in this mid matchup. I want this guy to trade, and he trades here. It's really good. So now this is where we're going to be going for a play. Hit the Q and pull it back. Not much, well, not really anything else in that situation. So we have to go farm now. You do not have CC, I repeat. You do not have crowd control. Crowd control is a very... something that you may lack, that you may need. I think Shaco's coming. But I do have smite, so I'm doing this because I have smite, so I'm just going to Q smite it if I need to. And then we're just going to go back to farming. I did spend a lot of time not farming, so we do want to go back and really play towards our farm. Remember, a lot of it is just auto attack Q and rinse and repeat. Use your E as you're going to save. Your E if you need to kind of kick them backwards. Your W, really not going to do much when you're farming. You can W between camps, but overall, do not waste it too much. You can kind of move a lot between the camp cycles here. I don't really know. I think we're going to have to go for a bot play here. So my goal is to kind of like get them. And we'll finish the Grom for sure. And then we're going to go for the play here. And I think it should be pretty easy. But with Shaco, there's always the problem about boxes you have to worry about. So you do want to avoid the boxes. Because of their ballings in this base timer, it's actually a good dragon timer. And your champion is very good at dragon. Because every time you proc it, the passive is just going to do a lot of damage to objectives. Your passive does max health damage, which is really good for you. Viego is spending a lot of time topside, so I'm not really as concerned about Viego. I have Alistar potentially able to move. I would rather he be closer to me. And then I'm going to just finish it off and probably look for a base timer right after that. You can see the solo on Baron or Dragon, whatever, extremely easy. And I almost have my Leandries. I could play for Leandries, but I really do want to play for Leandries buy. It's super greedy, but sometimes it's okay to be greedy because you got to be greedy. You got to be greedy to be an AP jungler. It's part of the rule. I don't make it, I just enforce it. My Q cooldown is starting to drop down a lot, which is good. With the Faded Ashes, you're able to kind of clear in a very well-timed manner. Where you're not really falling for, slow clear speed. Here, you could be careful when you're always entering this area in case, someone like Viego steals it. But I do have my Leandros now, so I'm at base. Our CS is relatively similar, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm going to fix everyone's portrait. So here we can see mid is doing well. Mid is actually going AD. I forgot Katarina kind of goes into the AD build, which is really good for me. Your W, the invisibility is really important to kind of do anything aggressive, but mostly your defense. It's a defensive ability, or it gives you that kind of range to get into the R. The R applies the circle realm. It's really about just zone control on this one. We're not doing anything crazy. This buy, though, is extremely good for us, so I do want to make something happen here. But I have to be really careful because I am squishy. So if I see any champion, I'm pretty much going to run. So here I just want to check this brush and then play for objective. So once I'm in a position like this and I have decent vision, I feel really confident now with Katarina too. I feel very good about, you know, just pretty much doing the board grubs. That should kill it. You can use your E for, you know, clearing this faster. Make sure you line it up so you can hit everything with the Q and hit everything with the E as well. So you see how it's, you know, it just speeds it up gently. And you generally max Q and then E second. That's pretty much all you have to remember. This guy, he's not that low. Mid is coming back to lane. I don't know. I imagine Viego's, you know, he just has to be somewhere. I wanted to actually play here. Viego just has to be bot side is what I'm saying. Viego is bot side, so we do want to kind of pressure. This guy's actually going to fight me, which is funny. How did that turret shot hit me? I should have R'd backwards instead of the way I R'd. But I am going to get some money, which we love to do. I'm not a professional Aurora. Listen, yeah. But I am good enough to get the job done. Mundo, see you later. Adios. I'm basing. I do want a good buy here if I can. Getting tanking is always a priority. And here we're going to go into the Nashers. You can go into like more HP items. I think HP, like you're very short range. You're in the fight. A lot of your damage is proccing off of the passive effect of this. So you need HP to really get the most out of it. I like Nashers. You can go into like this. Rylai's is potentially very good. Cosmic Drive does have, you know, good. It makes sense to have, you know, Cosmic Drive. And this is where you kind of get speed up your clear a bit. I'm going to go for the Nashers build. So I'm going to be doing Nashers next. With Sork Boot by as well. Remember, you can always hop the walls here, so it's a very easy hop. It gives you that invisibility as well, so you always kind of want to utilize it. And the Q, once it hits the target, it comes back from where the dot is. You see where it is? So whoever you hit, it's going to be pulled from that area. So just pay attention to who's kind of being hit by it. If you kill a target with your Q, it's not going to work the way you would want to work. Here, I always E and then Q, and it just kind of hits everything. And you see the clear speed very fast after you get through the early, you know, like little bits of it. And fights, I mean, I didn't play that Mundo fight well. You want to get the R on and then just kind of jump in the circle, proc the shield a bit. Here you can kind of play around invisibility a bit. Block the passive on him. I may be in trouble, lads. I may have overdone it there. I should have backed up. Chasing was just not good. Shago invisibility lasts 2 years, as you can see. So you always want to avoid that. This game I might go Swifties just because... Well, Merchand's pretty good too. I think I just have to be fast this game. Maybe we'll get Swifties this game. I don't think Sork's that good. They're already stacking some MR. I want Swifties and then I want to go into Nashers. So... It's my goal right now. So how do I click that? E backwards gives you a little boost, but it's not that fast, so you're not going to waste time. I could look for R here, but I want to play around like a good fight. This buy is going to be much better than it was before. I want to fight Viego around with my R timer. The R gives you a lot of ability power, a lot of potential. Now this will trap him, so we just go for the play. You can always move backwards as well. Clever girl. And you can R, hit that R like that. Use the shield to kind of bounce between. And there's a lot of mechanics there. Here, I want to do the dragon. Jump over. Auto. Start doing it. Keep the thing. The way the spirits work is in fights, when you hit spirits, when you proc your passive, you spawn a spirit, right? So if you proc it on champions, you're going to get spirits which heal you. So it's just really good to have them. I don't really want to fight here, so I'm just going to hope that Galio dies like I'm I can just finish dragon. fighting last. I think she bought me enough time for me to skedaddle. And that's the goal right now. Kai'Sa can go fight. I'm not fighting. I have to farm. And it's just a lot about, you know, just maneuverability. So being fast with Swifty is actually quite nice for me. You kind of move between two camps if you want to have like a good low rhythm going on here. Fight's going pretty well for us bot side. I don't really think I need to go. Plus, this is a really good farm timer if you can just farm. I really want to farm. I haven't farmed for a little bit. Whenever you're fighting, whenever you do objective, you don't want to be fighting right after insanely fast. Like, you want to just kind of go and get your farm timer down. If you just do objectives and then keep fighting, it's really bad for you. You can play for waves, but it's pretty early to play for waves right now. I'm just going to ward the Herald to keep a track on it. You can always W over. Remember, it's a really good way to kind of get over walls that might be hard for, you know, other champions to follow you and stuff like that. And your solo potential is, I would say it's not as good as like your team fighting potential. So once you get the Nashers there, your 1v1 is quite strong. This guy is a full MR champion, so I will do literally no damage to him, and I don't really expect to. He has the MR cloak plus a Negatron, which is very not expiring, not fun to play against. That's why we're going more on hit too. I just think on hit is like very much the key to a lot of this. And I might just get collapsed on here, but we do have a lot of, I would say, survivability ability. Like, it's hard to lock this champion down. Her wave clear, her speed, a lot of this stuff is just extremely hard to punish. I can W instantly, very strong. So similar to Nico, she's a bit of a pain to deal with. People, they struggle a lot with that. Adios. Which way is he coming from? Adios, amigo. You can always... Oh my god, there's Chico. And you just see like a lot of game playing around, you know. A lot of proccing your passive, a lot of little shenanigans. What the hell? Can I get that? Get him, Katarina. Finish what I started. And there's a lot of ways to build her. Like, I'm not going to say I know exactly the best way to build her. I think these items all are relatively good. I just think with her Q effect being, you know, quite low AP ratio, I do like the Nashers a bit. But if you like to go Riftmaker, Cosmic Drive, these are very good. Rylai's even has some good effects to it. So here I'm going to go for the Nashers. And after this, you want to just sort of get into the Riftmaker or somewhat of a tanker build if you can. You are Q spamming a lot, so you do generally have good slow effects. And the R is really strong. I think this champ is very OP. I think people are really bad at her. I think people are just playing her really weird. In a sense, too burst heavy, more about like damage over time, like real tankiness. She's very annoying to play against if you play her really slow. And you see her passive, her clear is just very much faster. And you know you're not really gonna have a farm problem. A lot of her, you just really, once you get tankier too, it's just gonna be really nice. Her arc cooldown is surprisingly shorter than I thought it'd be. It doesn't necessarily do a shit ton of damage, but it's good for joining into the fight. And the follow-up from it is really, you get a lot of effect from it. Like, Katarina's just going sicko mode. Respectable. And with the Nashers completed, this is where I feel like my autos are just very impactful. Can go for a Mundo kill. So you can always trap people, right? When you use your R, they cannot escape. So that's a very important thing here. You can just keep them trapped in this kind of circle. You can W in this. Remember the Q effect, the return Q part is really important. So I'm actually out of mana, so I'm just going to go back into the jungle and just get my mana back. Sacre bleu. My own teammate's still in jungle for me. Sacre bleu. Disgusting. What is this? I've never been disrespected like this in my life. I'm just gonna spend it and try to get it. This Shaco's trying to lure me into a box, but I don't play that kind of game. I don't play that game. And with the Nashers, you see a very good DPS item. A lot of the passive proc is gonna help you a lot. You just want to get tanky at this point. Rylai's not bad if you want Rylai's, but I want Riftmaker right now, so I'm gonna be going Riftmaker. Also Drive as well, not bad. Just build a lot of HP items. I don't really feel like I would go Death Cap on her. I usually would go. I would itemize much more towards like a Void for sure. Probably not Death Cap. Make sure we get the dragon. Let's wait for objectives heavy. My team's fighting, even though I'm way too low. I'm just doing a dragon on my timer. Obviously, my team's fed enough. They're not worried about that. It's quite nice for me. I just keep farming. We're probably going to try to do the objective too here. You have to be obsessed with farm when you play AP jungle. It's just something that has to be all over your mind. You have to love just farming the hell out of jungle. If you want to play AP jungler, you just have to love farming. Farming is life. Farming is everything. And I actually do think this champion is very strong. She's she's strong, and she's just very good when you're not really having to do anything. When the meta is like just farm meta, kill people after your full clear, it's really good for her. Here we can go into like, you know, Cosmic Drive or Rylai's, or sorry, not Rylai's. Cosmic or Riftmaker. I really like Riftmaker in this situation because the enemy team is really beefy, so I think Riftmaker is really good. Cosmic Drive is also not bad if the team was maybe more maneuverable, like more ranged champions. I'd go for this right now. Generally, you want the Void and like Zhonya's as well for like your later on too. Zhonya's is very good. You need some like survivability if you're getting, you know, focused down, CC'd. But generally, you're actually really hard to lock down, so you always have to play around that R. Because like, remember I showed you can always like use the circle to go from one side to the other. So it's a very, very, very big thing. So here I want to invade because I'm done clearing my jungle. I just want to see what's going on in this map. This guy's going for me. Always use this thing. Oh my god, that was actually not ideal. I was like, oh, you can always use it to go on the other side of the fight, but the other side of the fight was not looking good. Smolder was ready. I need help to kill the Mundo. I need someone to help me. I need someone who wants to auto him with me. Also, I don't really want to go on him. I want to generally play for bots, like get on the Viego. Not the full MR champions. Like, you're not going to be playing against full MR champions like this game. This game is just, we have triple AP champs. Katarina's AD in this game, so it's quite good. Girls get it done. They really do. They really do get it done. Mundo's a bit of a, Mordekaiser's a bit of a menace right now. Riftmaker 100 gold. Okay, we can probably do red and then play around that. Or my team just wants to end. Respectable. Respectable as well. I'm gonna get the red for them and then I'll join up right after. Hop skip. The invisibility doesn't last that long, so you have to like get out really fast if you're using it. Your E is also a big thing that you're gonna have to utilize as well. So my team's fighting, so how do I want to engage this fight? I just want to get in when out of vision initially. I don't want to really use my W. I just want to literally just walk in an R ideally. Just want to trap. Your goal is to trap people in your aura. You can go for something like this, and you can just kind of trap people like that. But obviously those people aren't tanky enough for us to kill. That's like an idea of like how you would do it. You would trap someone like that, so your team, they would have time to kind of follow up. You just kind of play around everything else. I mean, overall good game for her. I think she's fine. She's fun to play. Mess around with whatever items you like. And just see from there what you want to play. Hope you guys like this video. Be sure to like, subscribe if you haven't already. Good luck in the game. Good luck in the climb. And I'll see you guys next time. Ahoo.